The state of Kentucky. It's known for so many things. Kentucky Fried Chicken. Can't think of any others. Although, there is one thing in particular. Kentucky Straight Bourbon. And that's what I have in store for you salty dogs. I have the Woodford Reserve Distillers Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon. It's a bit of a mouthful. This mouthful very soon in just a few moments. That's right, the Woodford Reserve Distillers Select Kentucky Straight Bourbon. Whew. It's hard to wrap my head around that, but then, I am a moron, so, something with more than 2 words in it is usually a bit of a challenge. You might be wondering, and if you're not, I'm going to tell you anyway, because it's not much of a whiskey information channel if I don't give you whiskey and information. What is bourbon? How does it differ from just a plain old, good old whiskey? Well, bourbon is made in the US of A. It is made from a grain mixture that contains at least 51% corn, and the whiskey is matured in virgin charred oak barrels. Virgin, it means the barrels have not contained anything prior to being used to store the bourbon. Charred, they heat up the inside of the... That's the international hand sign for heating up the inside of a whiskey barrel. They heat up the inside of a whiskey barrel and it chars the inside, and it supposedly activates the flavors so that the whiskey, while inside the maturation casks, are better able to extract the flavors, the colors from the cask. And, that's basically the Reader's Digest, quick and easy version of it. I'd give you a longer one, but I want this video to go for less than 10 minutes. So with that in mind, let us have a look at the bottle and see what we're dealing with. Oh, it's a gorgeous color. I hope you can see that. I sprang for a new webcam so you could admire the beauty of its color. All bourbons, I believe, are required by the Bourbon Act to be naturally colored. So there's no artificial color, there's no spirit camel. This is authentic. 40% ABV. Age, it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon, and when it says Kentucky Straight Bourbon, I believe, again, this is the Bourbon Act talking, has to at least be 2 years old. Now you might think that's not much, but for a bourbon, that's quite long. There are bourbons on the market that are matured for a few months. So, 2 years, it's pretty good for a bourbon. Small batch, I don't know if you can see it. It's got here, batch 100, bottle 102. And when I bought this, I did look at the bottles behind it. And yeah, the bottle behind that was 103 and the one before that was 104. But this is mine, 102. Yeah, small batch is a slippery term. I mean, how big is a batch? Or how small is the small batch? Is it 500 bottles? Is it 1,000 bottles? I don't know. Oh no, it's American. I don't know. I don't know how much. How much is in a batch? The art of making fine bourbon whiskey has taken place on the site of the Woodford Reserve Distillery, a National Historical Landmark. Since 1812, we honor this heritage with a truly unique small batch bourbon of unparalleled quality. Well, if that's got me salivating like a moron, so I will now drink it like a genius. Let's see how she tastes and smells. I am using a new glass. If you've been watching the channel regularly, I love you. You will have noticed that I used what is called a Glencairn for my other tastings. Glencairn, it's a good glass for whiskey tasting. I just didn't like the stub, the stem, the stubby stem. I've got here sort of like a variation on a Capita glass, wine tasting glass, and with the longer stem I'm able to hold it. It's just a bit more comfortable. It's essentially the same. I'm hoping there's not going to be too much difference. They have a tulip-shaped glass to keep the aromas in, so that the aromas don't become exhausted too quickly. Much like myself, I tend to get exhausted very quickly. Not like that. God, your mind's out of the sewer. I am going slightly bonkers, actually. Let's give it a nose. Damn, that's good. That's really good. It's a beautiful colour. I love it. Sort of on the verge of redness. Glowing red. The nose is very strong vanilla. Cinnamon. Dried fruits. Maple syrup. Is it chocolate? No, not chocolate. Cacao. Cacao. And just some background mint in the background. Background mint in the background. Redundancies. To your good health. Spices, cinnamon, ooh, and then as the those cinnamon spice flavors depart, they are replaced with a milky chocolate taste. Very nice. Very distinct change. Bit of toasted oak. Hardly surprising. I mean, they did toast the oak. A toast to the oak. Toffee. Caramel. Cacao. Cacao. And a little bit of a citrus note in the background. It's kind of taken me by surprise. I mean, I've tasted this a few times. But this is the first time I've really gotten a citrusy note in the background. Very nice. Very nice indeed. The finish is very long. Very nice. Spicy and warm. This would be great. This would be a great little winter dram. Very warming at the end. Oh. Very nice. Tell you what, I am pretty darn impressed with this wee drop. Very nice. And that nose is, it's the kind of thing I could nose for like 10 minutes before even having my first sip. Very good. This retails in Australia for around about $50, around 50, 60, closer to 50 usually. For that price, wow, good value for money, I must say. Well worth a look if you are curious to try some Kentucky straight bourbon. I would recommend it. Yeah, great. I mean, it's always more fun for me when I really like the whiskey, as I have in this case. Hope it was fun for you. If it was, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to have a chat with me about this drop, or you've tasted it before, do let me know in the comments section and subscribe. As I say, I've had a ball, hope you had one too, and I look forward to tasting another whiskey for you salty dogs very, very soon.